about a group of young men, and we talked about this, I think we alluded to this briefly. We've spoken several times about it. This has been a watershed year for athletes in the wake of the death of Muhammad Ali, who advocated for many causes for racial justice and justice for people who were poor, standing up for what he believed in, not fighting in the Vietnam War, and combining with some of the things about police brutality and the politics that happened this year and the past year or so. So we've had a lot of athletes come out outspoken about some of the issues of the day, various issues. Now, with the way certain politics are, it's pretty easy to stand behind certain things like for police brutality, maybe Black Lives Matter, but the very same folks, when you talk about gender politics, particularly when it deals with when black men are implicated, they have overtones there, they stop short there. And I said to myself, I said to you, Donovan, that what's going to happen when the first, in this era of guys standing up for themselves and talking about issues of the day, and doing the opposite of what Michael Jordan did, if they stand up for an issue that opposes the gender grievance industrial complex on things like domestic violence and sexual assault, and come out for things like due process, what's going to happen to them? And we saw it with the first group, Minnesota football players, University of Minnesota. 10 of their teammates were suspended, and for various reasons. I guess 3 or 4 of them for sexual contact with a young woman at a party in September 2nd. And I've read the police reports on it, and there are various. It goes many different directions, and some of the details are very, very salacious, and some of them may seem a little bit disturbing to some folks if it occurred as she said. But people need to realize a police report is just one person's allegation, okay, for the most part.
Right.
Although some of the men did contradict some of the other men, so there's a lot of moving parts, there's a lot of contradictions, there's a lot of collaborations about what happened. Some people seem like they were disgusted about what happened, and frankly, I don't really get out with a whole bunch of people, but it makes it sound like that there was a train pulled on her by 20 guys, but the 20 guys involved were very from having looked to talking about it to having been in the vicinity. And what we're hearing from folks like I was listening to the Right Time podcast, and it was very, very patronizing. But Monty started off with, and so I'm going to crack the whip on him a little bit because
because he needs it.
This is a man who he's not ignorant. He has 2 master's degrees. He's very well spoken. He is exquisite with a turn of phrase. So I can just imagine that he's just being a little bit lazy on certain things. So the first thing he mentioned is the players stood up and said, "Look, the law exonerated these young men," and indeed they did. In September, the prosecutors saw some clips from a video, saw the police report, and decided there was not enough to press charges. And in fact, the young lady seemed lucid and seemed to be enjoying herself. All right. So the counter is always, well, a preponderance of the evidence standard changes is a different standard. It's a standard used in the civil court. So he was saying that just because you don't meet a criminal standard does not mean that you don't meet a civil standard, and that will be true. However, with a preponderance of the evidence standard, first, some colleges had a higher standard until Ruslan Ali did an end run around Congress, and the Office of Civil Rights told colleges that any standard above preponderance of evidence equals gender discrimination. That's a Dear Colleague letter. So I like to talk a lot about incentive structures, and when you create an incentive structure where if you don't start prosecuting more of these guys or expelling them or adjudicating them guilty, we're going to take your federal money, and you and I both as college attendees and college graduates know that the lifeblood is federal staff level money, Pell Grant money for these these schools. They lose that, then that's a big hit to them. Also, though, in civil court, you get to depose the accuser.
Right.
Under preponderance of the advance of the evidence standard. In civil court, you have the right to cross-examination. You can't do that in college unless you run a follow this new Title IX regime. In civil court, you have the right to present exculpatory and other evidence. In civil court, you have the right to present witnesses. This is more than about a standard of proof for what we all recognize is a potential violative act. This is about applying a lower standard of proof to something we don't recognize as rape or assault. Process and stop pretending that these guys don't understand what preponderance of the evidence standard is. In the preponderance of the evidence case, the way the standard is the higher the potential penalty, the lower the higher the protection. The lower the standard of proof, the more leeway you have. So you can give somebody a written interrogatory. You can depose people for hours. So you want one part of preponderance of the evidence and say that it's a lower standard, but even with a lower standard, you're being intellectually dishonest when you start concealing the fact that that these folks are not even allowing these young men to make a case. They're not allowing them to have a lawyer.